Hey, this is Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar podcast. I'm having more adventures today with the Fender Mustang GT40 amp right here. These just came out a little bit ago. I'm going to put it against my actual Fender Princeton Reverb reissue. This is the 65 reissue model here. There's no modifications on this. I bought it used, so as far as I know, there's no modifications. It's fully stock. I'm going to be using the provided 65 Princeton patch that comes with this. It's on the number 2 slot of all the presets as a starting point, and then we'll get into tweaking back and forth a little bit. And I've dialed in the Princeton here to kind of match what they were trying to do with the patch as far as gain levels. So this is going to be recorded quite a bit louder than this can even get, but then the gain levels are very similar, and I'll make adjustments later when I change the settings. All right, enjoy. Here is the GT40. And here's the real deal Princeton. Back to the GT40. So, I don't know how it sounds in post, but this just sounds a lot clearer to me. Obviously, it sounds a lot louder because I got it set up a lot louder, but it's just a lot clearer. There's a lot more kind of like clarity to the sound, and this is just a mud machine in my opinion. I mean, I've already covered it in a couple videos, and I've said things like that about it. I'm just not a huge fan, but let's see if we can dial it in a little cleaner. I'm going to take it off of the stock settings now. All right, so what I've done is I've tweaked the EQ on this quite a bit, and I completely changed the cab. What did I change the cab to? I changed it to a 4x12 75-watt cab model on here. And then I went into the global EQ settings, and I set it to the bright setting. I think that's what it's called. Let me check real quick. It's the bright boost global EQ setting, and I feel like I've gotten it a lot closer to what I typically dial in for the Princeton. Is just a little bit of hair, bit of tube compression on it, but then kind of more of like a clarity to it. So let's compare it right now. Here is the Princeton. And here is the GT40. It just still sounds so nasal and muddy to me. Like I can't dial that sound out. I feel like the patch underneath is doing the best it can to sound like a Princeton. I can tell that the gain quality is there. I can tell that the response is there, but there's this sheen of this nasal, out of phase mud over the whole amp that I just can't dial out. It doesn't matter what settings I tweak, like it's always there. It's even, it's even apparent on very clean sounds like this, which is a huge bummer. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I guess we should test running some fuzz into both of them like I did with the Katana video. So here comes the speed up, and I'll set that up. All right, all set up for fuzz. So let's do the Princeton first. We're using the half horse by Pelican Noiseworks here. All right, and now we'll do the GT40. To me, the difference is so obvious here in the room. I'm not sure how it's going to come across in post, and it really is going to come down to whatever speakers you listen to the audio through. Like if you're listening on a phone, you might not get a full representation of what's going on here. So go try to get some bigger speakers to listen to. The GT40 is just a mud machine with the fuzz into it, where the Princeton is clear and articulate. There's people who make the argument like, oh, you don't run fuzz right. You're supposed to run it into a dirtier amp. But I like to run fuzz this way. I go for like kind of a Davey Allen school of fuzz, where you're really hearing every bit of grit and every little jump and spike in the fuzz. So this is the way I like to run fuzz. And it doesn't matter how I'm running it, if the fact that I'm demonstrating that this thing just puts this huge filter over anything you play through it, and I'm just not a fan. This is kind of like my center point, my starting point for a lot of my tone is the Princeton Reverb, and the GT40 just pales in comparison. And it's not really even about comparing them. I'm not trying to say that this should sound like this at all. I just think this could sound so much better. I mean, the software involved is decently fun to play with. There's a lot of fun things in there, but there's just this terrible nasal sheen over everything that you play through it, and I'm just not a fan at all. I'm sure there's going to be people who disagree with me. Go jump on the gear page, and you'll find all kinds of apologists saying that I've dialed this thing in wrong, or whatever. But I'm starting with the available amps and patches that are on here. I don't know what to tell you. I haven't been able to find a single setting that dials out that nasal sound. So, all right, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you feel like it.